Picture this. You wake up one morning and suddenly, the Earth's core has cooled down. This isn't your typical science fiction scenario, it's a hypothetical situation worth pondering. Our planet's core, a blazing sphere of molten iron and nickel, sits at a scorching temperature that exceeds that of the surface of the sun. It's the beating heart of our world, the engine driving the Earth's magnetic field. And its heat sustains the geological activity that shapes our continents. But what if this fiery furnace suddenly lost its heat? What if one day, the Earth's core cooled down? Would our planet turn into a frozen wasteland, or might life carry on in unexpected ways? The answers to these questions could reveal untold truths about our planet's future and our own survival. So let's dive into this chilling hypothesis. But first, we need to understand what the Earth's core is and why it's so essential. So, let's dive deep, about 4,600 kilometers below the surface, to the core of our planet. This incredibly hot, dense region is divided into two parts: the outer core, which borders the mantle, and the inner core. The boundary separating these regions is called the Bullen discontinuity. The outer core, about 2,200 kilometers thick, is mostly composed of liquid iron and nickel. This molten sea of metallic elements is in constant motion, and this movement generates our planet's magnetic field through a process called the geodynamo. Then we have the inner core, a solid ball of iron and nickel with a dash of gold, platinum, and other precious elements. It's about 1,200 kilometers in diameter, roughly the size of Pluto. Despite the immense pressure and the scorching heat that exceeds the surface of the sun, the inner core remains solid. Now, you might be wondering, how does the core maintain such extreme temperatures? Well, it's a combination of residual heat from when the planet formed, heat produced from the gravitational force as the core continues to compress, and heat generated by the decay of radioactive elements. Our fiery core does more than just keep our planet toasty. This magnetic field acts like a cosmic shield, protecting us from harmful solar radiation. Without it, life as we know it would be impossible. Additionally, the core's heat drives geothermal activity, leading to volcanic eruptions and plate tectonics, which are fundamental to the Earth's carbon cycle, and consequently, to life itself. In short, our planet's core is an essential player in sustaining life. But what if it stopped playing the game? With a cooled core, our planet would face a series of catastrophic events. This chilling thought is not just a hypothesis, but a stark reality that could occur if the Earth's core were to suddenly cool down. Let's start with the magnetic field. This invisible barrier is generated by the molten iron within the Earth's outer core. It's our planet's protective shield, deflecting harmful solar radiation and charged particles that emanate from the sun. If the core cools, this magnetic field weakens. Imagine a world without this shield. We'd be exposed to intense solar radiation, disrupting our technologies, damaging ecosystems, and posing serious health risks to all life forms. But the fallout wouldn't stop there. The core's heat is a driving force for plate tectonics. The movement of the Earth's crust that forms mountains, causes earthquakes, and creates volcanoes. With a cooled core, these movements would cease. The Earth's crust would become a static, unchanging landscape. No more mountain formation, no more volcanic activity. This may sound like a peaceful scenario, but it's far from it. Volcanoes are crucial for recycling the Earth's nutrients and maintaining the carbon cycle. Without them, life as we know it would drastically change. Now let's consider the temperature. The Earth's core is hotter than the surface of the sun. Its heat helps regulate our planet's overall temperature. A sudden cooldown would mean a dramatic drop in surface temperatures. We'd be plunged into a deep freeze, turning our blue planet white. Crops would fail, ecosystems would collapse, and life would become a struggle for survival. So, you see, the Earth's core is not just a fiery ball at the center of our planet. It's the heart of our world, pumping life-giving heat and generating a protective magnetic field. Its health and stability are essential for our existence. From the loss of our protective shield to the freezing of our planet, the results would be devastating. So, let's hope that the Earth's core keeps its fiery spirit for billions of years to come. So what could we do if we found ourselves facing this icy apocalypse? It's a chilling question, but one that's worth pondering. As we've seen, a cooled Earth core could spell disaster for life as we know it. But humanity is nothing if not adaptable, and there might be ways for us to survive in this frozen wasteland. First off, we'd need to address the effects of the lost magnetic field. Without it, we'd be exposed to harmful cosmic radiation, the kind that can damage DNA and increase the risk of cancer. One solution could be the creation of artificial magnetic fields. Yes, it sounds like something straight out of a science fiction novel, but scientists are already exploring this concept in the context of space exploration. These fields wouldn't replace the Earth's natural shield, but they could provide localized protection for cities, or even entire countries. Another survival strategy might be going underground. The Earth's crust would offer some protection against radiation, and the residual heat from the core could help maintain a livable temperature. We'd need to adapt to a life without sunlight, but with advances in technology, we could grow food under artificial light and generate power through geothermal energy. Of course, these survival strategies come with a hefty price tag and would require global cooperation on an unprecedented scale. We'd need to pool our resources, our knowledge, and our determination to ensure the survival of our species. And let's not forget about the emotional toll. Living in a post-apocalyptic world would be a far cry from the life we know today. We'd need to find ways to maintain our mental health, our culture, and our sense of community in these trying circumstances. It's a grim scenario, but it's always better to be prepared. After all, knowledge is our best weapon against the unknown.